Hello, this is John with Brainstorm Comics and Gaming, and this is this week's Turning the Page. I'm back this week with Chris, the Cupid of Comics. No, we're not going to do that.
Did we use that one already?
Oh, you know.
Are we running out? Please say we're running out. Please say we're running out.
Okay. I'm here with Chris for the love of the game. A little bit better? No? You don't like that one yet? We can always go back to the Cupid of Comics.
I mean, this is your thing, so you do whatever you want.
I don't think you like my introductions. I think that's...
It's fine.
We had a customer come in and ask for your autograph today. Like, is that Chris? Chris Love from YouTube?
You were 100% lying.
No, I can show the videotape. You gave me the finger as it was going on.
I did.
Oh, so now we admit that it happened.
I didn't know that. That was like a real thing. I just tuned you out immediately. Sorry.
I see.
Stop listening.
I'm used to that. You know.
Yeah, you have a kid and a wife and stuff. Yeah, you should totally be used to it.
I am. So this week's topics. Obviously, we'll be doing the best week ever, or best Wednesday ever at the end of this. One, we'll also be talking about people's fear of missing out on the next Spider-Man movie. Apparently,
the FOMO is real. And
we will also be talking about apparently Disney. There's some rumors that Disney is not happy with the Hawkeye ratings. And last but not least, we'll also be talking about apparently X-Men have nation status within the Marvel universe. So.
I can't believe that's what we're like prefacing that with.
We can start with that one, I guess, since that's the weakest of the three, I think. We need to do something to fill out.
It's been kind of a dull week in comic books.
There hasn't been a lot going on.
There hasn't really been a whole lot going on, yeah.
We need Rob Liefeld to open his mouth or something.
Stop.
Tom King to put up.
Oh, my goodness. I hope you... Did you... The beating the dead horse thing? Okay, cool.
You're right. Tom King will never be a topic. We only talk about things that are worth talking about. So, moving on to the first topic, we will talk about apparently the one of the X-Men has been appointed as a UN ambassador.
Can we use the term X-Men very loosely?
Very loosely, yes.
Very loosely?
Yes.
It's like an X-Men's third cousin's dead boyfriend or something?
Well, it doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you get there.
I guess.
Do you think this is important for the X-Men franchise? Do you think it's...
I think the X-Men have just hit that point where they're like, listen, there's 7,000 of these people.
We have to do something with them.
We've done 765 different, we're out of stuff to talk about. So now we're just going to, bring somebody dead boyfriend back from the something or other. And now he's on the UN. And if you're still reading that book, good on you. That's all I could say.
You're not as big of a fan since Hickman?
I mean, at the beginning of it, it was good. I loved all the Krakoa stuff, and I think they were doing some really cool stuff with it. And then it just it went off the rails for me. I put that down a while ago.
So that 7-year plan that Hickman...
I wish you would have done it in 3.5 or something.
Well, he definitely abandoned them to go do his...
X years or sword years or 10 or...
X years, yeah, I got you.
Circles and dots.
I think it does open up for some interesting storylines and such. Politics have always been kind of important in the Marvel universe.
Why can't we just have bad guys come to do bad guy things and we fight them and good people win the day? Why does it have to be there is literally a book that's about the business of the X-Men universe. Who reads that? Do you read that? Is it any good? Yeah?
It's mid-tier.
Okay.
It's passable.
Good on you then. I am not reading a book about politics and mutants. Sorry.
But then you have Way of X that people say, the people who are reading it are saying it's drastically underrated. Not enough people are...
I don't know. Like I said, I put it down. Marauders
is
about as far as I get into it. I'm way behind on Marauders, honestly.
Yeah. So you feel like this is unnecessary? You want them to get back to the X-core of just being...
let's just fight injustice in the world.
Fighting bad guys.
Let's just have Wolverine be weird with teenage girls and Cyclops wine.
So I've made it clear before. I'm not really an X-Men fan.
You've made that very, very clear. Very clear.
Not because I bash it or anything. It's just not
you kind of do.
I don't.
Sometimes.
Well, it depends on whether they deserve to be. Yeah.
Apparently.
But it seems like one of the big things I hear people complaining about the X-Men is mostly that a lot of the stuff that's going on seems like it in previous years it would be like subplots instead of the main plot.
I think that's probably a way more articulated way of saying what I was trying to say. Is it's just like we're making mountains out of molehills at this point, because I feel like it got so big and so convoluted that it kind of got away.
Yeah.
And now we're...
Yeah, so like normally like this would be like 3 or 4 pages in an issue while they were like taking care of whatever bad guy
Yeah, and then it was just, and it's just like, like they made such a big deal about, like, can't remember the character's name. Apparently he was a dead somebody that came back, and he was somebody's ex-boyfriend, and Emma Frost is involved.
She normally is.
She normally is, in all honesty. Yeah, I don't know. Trial of Magneto was cool, and I'm sure that all ties into this, but...
So you feel like this is being overplayed?
I feel like I'm like a bad comic book talker about a reviewer person, because I'm just like, not reading that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, like I said, the X-Men definitely started off with a lot of enthusiasm when Hickman came on board. And I think what you just said encapsulates a lot of what they were saying.
And I don't think I'm saying anything that anybody that's reading that book isn't going to tell you. Like, this thing is super, like, there's layers and layers.
It went out, like, it started like this, and it went outwards very quickly.
Very much outwards, yeah.
Very quickly and very rapidly. Quickly. Unfortunately, and I say this all the time, X of Swords really pushed a lot of...
Or is it 10 of Swords?
Whatever it was called.
I'm going to beat that into the ground, too.
That pushed a lot of like X-Men fans out of it because they were forced to read titles that they probably weren't reading at that point. It was like 22 parts. And
that's the other thing that kind of bugs me about giant Marvel events is I feel like Marvel does this way more than DC does, where like Marvel forces you to read books that you're not necessarily reading.
Yeah.
To, you know, like King of Black and Darkhold with all these wild one-shots they're doing with Darkhold and stuff. It's like...
It's a shame because they really burn a lot of bridges with it, because we were selling 60 plus copies of X-Men when Hickman first came on. And they, for the most part, like 80% of them stayed up until that X of Swords, 10 of Swords, whatever you want to call it.
I feel like they started, like some of this stuff started out like Sword or SW, however, you know, with the dots, and, you know, whatever you want to call it. There's an X in there somewhere. Maybe it's a 10. There's a 10 or an X in all of it. Started out really, really good and started out really strong and then just went kind of crazy off the rails from there. And I feel like that's...
Do you think X-Men need a stronger editor that keeps it more tight in the storytelling and more focused?
Yeah, I just think they need to maybe think more locally and less globally, maybe.
Maybe one global title and one...
Yeah, and they just rebooted the team and everything. I was like, oh, cool, we're going to get another... And then you've got like the young X-Men stuff going on. It just feels like they're just doing too much.
I was shocked that title didn't take off. With Strange Academy doing as well as it did. I was sure that Young X-Men was really going to...
Well, because they did it kind of silly. They just kind of like dropped them in this universe, and it didn't play well with everything else that was going on.
Maybe they should have handed it to Scotty Young and have him do that one.
Maybe give it to Don Cates.
Bring over Jorge Corona to do the art.
Something. Take all the circles and dots and squigglies away.
Yeah. Well, I think we've beaten this one into the ground.
Yeah. How long did we? Was that like 5 minutes?
Yeah, it wasn't even long on that one.
Wow. Yeah. That was a stretch.
I don't know. Like I said, I like politics, so I have a little bit of interest in it. But
and I love X-Men. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm a huge X-Men fan. But this current with other books that are way better that I would rather spend my money on, it's hard for me to get behind that title right now.
Where you only have to read one book instead.
Yeah, and even like, you know, like a Fear State. Fear State was a Batman-wide thing, but you didn't have to read 50 issues a week, and you didn't have to read stuff that you didn't want. You know, I don't know.
Plus Batman fans are very, 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 very dedicated to
but even I think DC in general doesn't force you to read every title.
They try not to.
They try not to. At least it seems like. But all right, we beat that horse.
Yeah. So we'll turn the topic on that one. We'll see how it plays out on the page, though. We'll turn the page. We'll take this time to remind you to LCS, like, comment, and subscribe to the Brainstorm Comics and Gaming YouTube channel. We are up to 234 subscribers. We are closing on 200 videos.
Was that like a surprise nod and thumbs up, or was that like a confirmation? Because I couldn't really tell. Okay.
We're closing in on 200 videos being uploaded.
Man. Just spamming the world with our opinions.
Trying to.
Sorry, this is burger concentration.
But also, don't forget to visit the Brainstorm Comics locations. One in downtown Frederick. If you're looking for a day trip, having a fun walk around downtown, do some cool shopping, hit a record store, hit the comic shop, have a good meal. Downtown Frederick's your place to go. If you're looking for back issues, Walkersville is your place. And if you're looking for board games, very soon you can go to either one. We're finishing up on the gaming side. We are filming from there right now. Chris can look around and see all the shelves.
When it's done, there's a lot of shelves in here. I'll be glad when it's done.
Yeah, we have our shipment of games coming in tomorrow or Friday.
That's exciting.
We have like 300 board games coming in.
It's very exciting.
A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. So we're going to move on to the Hawkeye thing. Apparently the ratings came in on it in terms of the number of views that it's gotten, and it came in at 1.2 million. And there are... What's that?
1.3.
1.3. There's rumors circulating that Disney is not thrilled with those numbers because Loki came in at 2 point something, and Falcon and Winter Soldier came in at 1.8 or something like that. So they feel like this one is not pulling its weight. What do you feel about that?
I think that this is a very subjective thing. It's been kind of a slow week for comic book news. Loki was a fluke. Loki came at a very specific time.
He has a lot of fans also. Not Loki, but that actor.
That actor has a lot of fans. Just his stuff in the Avengers movie kind of pushed him there. Kate Bishop is a new character to a lot of people. Hawkeye is also a character that like kind of flies under the radar and has always kind of flown under the radar.
He does have a lot of fans out there, though.
He does.
From the movie perspective. I don't think he's ever really garnered a huge fan base within he has fans, but it's not like...
Yeah, I also think that they kind of marketed it a little strange, where like all of a sudden they were just like, Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, and people were like, wait a minute, what
happened to the other guy?
What happened to the other guy? Like, he's still there.
I know some people are saying it. I haven't watched it, but some people are comparing it to Die Hard, like in terms of the advertising.
A little bit, yeah. I think the other bigger story is the controversy with the artwork and how the show is presented.
I don't know.
The font, the intro,
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Aja.
The style, yeah. It's very much his artwork from the book, and they gave like no.
Oh yeah, he's very angry about it.
He's not happy about that.
He's not happy.
I think my favorite tweet was somebody was like, "Well, at least you got a show on Disney. That's like something." And he's like, "Be something if they wrote a check." I was like, "Damn, dude, go ahead, tell them about themselves." Also, like, so they hit it with Loki, which was the huge number, and then they hit it with Falcon and Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter Soldier's viewership wasn't that much more than...
It was 50% more from what they were saying. It said 1.8 million, I think they said.
Yeah, 1.8, 1.3. It's not that much more in the grand scheme of things. I watched it. I thought it was good.
So I will defend...
Also, it has like a 93% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, critically, people are liking it. It's just, you released it over, like, Thanksgiving weekend.
So I will defend Disney and the show in this way. We have been a Netflix generation for 15 years at this point. So I think that as they release these shows individually, you're probably going to see some people fall off and just wait until...
I mean, Netflix is doing it now, too.
And just, what I'm saying is they're waiting... You may see people waiting until the whole show comes out, and then, like, I'm going to binge it at that point instead of watching it week to week. I think that Netflix... As much as I love Netflix, I think that they hindered the weekly episodic sort of thing by allowing people to binge things. And one of the things I used to love is talking about shows as they were going along, giving
I'm the opposite, bro. I want to sit down and just watch it all. I want all
I
of
understand.
it in one shot.
I understand that there's different approaches.
But I'm patient and I'll wait for Arcane is the one that they just did that with on Netflix.
But it's the same reason why I like
episodes at a time.
It's the same reason I like monthly comics versus like trade paperbacks. I prefer to see what's going on and talk about it as it's and guess about where the writer's taking it.
See, I like trades. I want to read it all in one shot and then form my opinions on it.
That's fine.
I think that releasing it on or right before Thanksgiving weekend was a mistake.
Hindered it.
It's going to hinder it. There's a lot of people that, especially this year, with this kind of being the first year after, I won't say after COVID, but this is the first time for a lot of people to like be with their families in a couple years. So I feel like there probably wasn't as much television.
And now the Transformer variant's coming. Omicron.
I quit. you quit something you're not even getting paid to do? Yeah, I think this is.
He was thrown for a second.
I was waiting for the reaction from him. You know what I mean? I got nothing. I just.
Second process.
Right. I think this is one of those things that it's kind of a slow week in comic book news, and this is why this is news. It's being received very well critically.
So I will disagree with you on that. And the reason I say that is apparently Disney is seeing a lot of numbers throughout Disney Plus that they're not liking. There's a lot of business reports that they're not liking.
It's shocking that the entire world is not bowing to the will of the Disney. I mean, you know. They can't be perfect at everything.
Well, so I think they had an aggressive plan with Disney Plus. They offered it, what is it, $7, $6, $7? Something like that. $7, I think.
I don't remember.
Which is half of what Netflix charges.
It's not. It's less than Netflix, but it's not that. I think Netflix is like $9.99 or something.
Are you sure? I thought it was like $12,
I don't
$13.
pay attention to any of that.
Anyway, so I mean, they had an aggressive plan, much cheaper than Netflix.
Sure.
Hey, these are all the classics from your childhood. We're giving you all the Disney cartoons.
Well, and then,
all
I mean, they have it's all Star Wars, all the Marvel stuff. I mean, I get it. I think that Disney has been a little pissy lately when they haven't.
Well, they're not happy with the movies this year because they haven't. They were expecting $1 billion movies out of every single one of them. Apparently, they're angry with the woman from Eternals, the woman that directed that. I don't know why they blame her. They're the one that greenlit the script and the.
Nobody asked for an Eternals movie. We wanted an Eternals movie.
So,
we got an Eternals movie. Apparently, it's pretty good. I haven't watched it yet.
I will say about that, like even in comics, like I know Jack Kirby is considered the king, but that one has never really like.
And I got angry when it was like an official statement and they said that this was their quote unquote their love letter to Jack Kirby. And I was so livid with that. I was like, your love letter should have just been your signature on a check to the man. And of all the things to like, this
or
is
his family.
Yeah, this is our love letter to Kirby, the Eternals, like
not the Fantastic Four.
Not the Fantastic Four. Not any
X-Men.
of. Just, oh my goodness, yeah. Once again, nobody asked for a Black Widow movie. Nobody cared.
Especially when it's set in the past. So there's no real stakes involved in it because you know that she's not going to die.
She's dead. She's dead now. It's just, yeah, I think that Disney...
That's the problem with any movie set in the past is you know that the stakes aren't really there.
Yes. I think Disney is suffering from they kind of put all their cards out on the table way too early. They just inundated people with Avengers, and now Avengers is kind of done.
Well, here's the other thing.
And they're scrambling for other. Let's make other stuff relevant.
So, like Shang-Chi did relatively well for
Shang-Chi was a good movie,
an unknown character to the masses. I can guarantee you the second one's going to do even better than the first one because over the next 2 or 3 years, people are going to watch that movie and go, "Oh, why didn't I watch this earlier?"
Right.
And
but just like in comic books, for every 5 of these movies or books that come out that are they're not slammed, like you put another Spider-Man movie out, 10 billion people are going to be into.
We're going to be talking about that,
and we're talking about that in a minute. But like for every 5 of those, 3 or 4 of them are probably going to kind of be duds, and then you're going to get your Loki or your
the other thing is
they Shang-Chi or whatever.
They haven't really laid out the map for the next phase yet.
Right.
And I think that's probably hindering a lot of this stuff as well.
Sure.
I think there's a lot of hints as to what's going to be going on, but it's not as clear cut as it was with the previous phases.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was very set in what they were going for, a very linear from point A to we're going from here to the Infinity Gauntlet, and everything that happens in between is
laying the groundwork.
Right. And now we were there, and we did a bunch of stuff. And now we can't figure out how to undo it or work around it because on paper in comic books we just pretend it doesn't exist, or it's a multiverse. It's another planet. This is planet 715, not 616.
That's what's coming.
So
there's a root. Oh, we'll get to that in the next topic. Never mind.
I think Disney is kind of being a cry whiny baby about it. I think that people are going to be into this more than it's showing numbers wise now.
Yeah. Well, people are always worried that,
give Kate Bishop a chance.
People are always worried that the bubble's going to burst and things like that. Even in comics, you see it all.
That bubble been supposed to be burst since I was like 10 years. I heard the old dudes in the comics, the bubble's going to burst and blah, blah, blah. I was like, what is that? I don't even understand it. Just give me books. Yeah, it's fine.
So
It's fine.
we will turn the page on this, though. We will return to
Watch
it if
it.
any more.
Watch Hawkeye. It's good. Not you. I know you're not going to watch it, but
And the theft of David Aja's.
unfortunately, no. Go. I mean, go buy that book. Watch the show. Get into it, and then go buy that story.
I'm joking. His design work on that was
Super good. Super good.
was
Super good.
awesome.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so we'll turn the
The
page.
first issue that just came out last week of the new Hawkeye was really good too.
Yeah,
You didn't read it.
I did read it.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I read all 3 number ones that came out last week.
Ooh.
Maybe we will add one more topic.
Ooh.
So we'll see.
Okay.
All right.
Threaten me with a good time.
So we'll turn the page on that one, and we'll move on to how much would you pay for a movie ticket, Chris?
I don't even know how much is a movie. You go to movies all the time. How much is a movie ticket now?
About 15.
Okay.
You pay $15?
Sure. Whatever, man.
You wouldn't pay like $15,000 for a
No.
ticket? What if it were Spider-Man No Way Home? No. Well, apparently people are.
I didn't even finish reading the article. I was so mad at it. I was like, really, for real? And then I was like, I can't even.
So Arcariana said that they're offering NFTs with these as well for like early purchase of the tickets, and people are spending. Was it up to $25K? I think it's up to $25K.
There was a sale on eBay for a ticket to No Way Home for $25,000.
So they paid $25K for 2 hours of their life to watch this movie.
Yeah, apparently, there's private sales on eBay, scalping tickets to the opening. Not like the Hollywood opening. You know what I mean? Not even that. Just like regular old your Regal Cinemas on Thursday at midnight or whenever it comes out.
I can't imagine spending $25K on anything outside of my car and my house. Like,
Listen, I spend an exorbitant amount of money on a lot of dumb things, and that is one that just completely baffles
does
me.
not make your list.
It does not. I don't understand that at all. There is nothing about. There is no thought process in my brain that would allow that to even
come to
Nope.
fruition. Nope.
I will go on record as saying, if I ever saw that person in real life, I'd smack them. I would smack them like a father smacks a child who's misbehaving. Don't smack your kids.
I will give a very weak defense for it.
There's no. I don't even want to hear your weak defense. There is no defense.
There are some rumors.
Head shaking.
There
I don't
are
care.
some rumors that this is going to be the launch of the Miles Morales era as well.
That's cool, man. You can see it the next day. It's going to be playing in every theater on the hour for weeks.
There are also websites saying that Venom appears in
That's
part
cool,
of the 616
man.
universe.
That's rad.
I told you it's a very weak defense.
I think that I'm excited for this movie. I am hyped for this movie. I think it's going to be great. I
guess I
hope they
should say
introduce
spoilers,
Miles
'cause-
Morales. Miles is amazing. If you spend extra money on a movie ticket to that movie,
to be the first.
you can be the first what, man? You ain't even the first. You're the first of one of, I see, my blood pressure's going to go up right now. Whoo! Smack you in the face. Just come in here, let me see your ticket stub and your receipt, and you just get a smack. You're just going to get a smack.
Can we film it?
Physical violence. No face, no case.
Can we blur your face out?
I don't want to say too much. Smacking people. I'm just smacking them. Because you deserve to get smacked. You deserve to get a slipper to your head or something. I don't know. That is just silly. Stupid.
So at first I saw this on the comic book forums on Facebook, one of the groups that I'm on, and I thought it was a joke, and I just kept scrolling past it. And then I saw it on CBR, I think, and I was like, "What the?" They weren't joking.
If there's like an NFT coming with it, and you're into that kind of thing, and it's
Even $25K for that.
I would, unless it's, I don't know what would. No, there is no justification. I'm gonna stop. There is no justification. Smacks for everyone, just behind the head, like Red Foreman. Just no. So
we're not for this?
Not at all. If you're for this, I hate you. We are enemies. We're enemies.
Wow.
I will make that blanket statement to the internet.
So your superhero name would be the Head Slapper?
I don't even know. Wow. Mess around and turn me into a Spider-Man villain on this one. Terrible. $25,000 on a movie ticket.
Hopefully you get some giant popcorn.
I can't even. It's on. You
Does that
can't
include
even.
the popcorn and the
No,
soda? Wow.
they're still gonna hit you for $50 for all that.
But you're like, I got my $25,000 ticket.
Go ahead.
They should give you like everything at the concession stand for $25.
Give you a smack on the back of the head. That's what they should give you. They should just turn you away. Regal Cinemas should just. You did what? No. Go to the back of the line. You don't deserve this.
Let you run the projector or something for $25K.
I don't even think it's a projector anymore.
Whatever.
I think it's just like you press a button.
Is that all it is? Probably. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a little more to it than that. But
All right. I think we're unfortunately of a consensus on this one, so we're not going to get a lot
physical
of
violence to
So
people.
I tried to offer my mild defense, and it didn't really.
It was terrible. It was indefensible. Indefensible, sir.
What if Willem Dafoe comes out and shakes your hand for?
Nope.
No, still
Nope. Willem Dafoe? Yeah, Willem, that's who for $25K. That's who you get is Willem Dafoe. Yeah.
no. The whole cast comes out and signs your seat, and you get to take the seat with you. Still no. Okay. All right, that's all I got. We'll turn the page on that
They
one.
give me 24,000 whatever minus $15 for that movie ticket because you still go sit in the same terrible chair that 10,000 other people sat in, eating that stale ass popcorn with the fake butter on it, pretzel bites all in the microwave.
So we'll turn the page on that topic, and we'll add the bonus topic. So there were 3 number ones from Marvel last week. I think you've read all of them. The Hulk number 1, Black Panther number 1, and Hawkeye number 1.
Yep.
So, how would you rate them, number 3 to number 1?
You're going to disagree with me on this one.
I know. I already disagree with you because we talked about it earlier, and you were wrong.
I'm not wrong. It's my opinion. I can have an opinion. Don't take that away from me. For me, I'm very shocked that I'm saying this. It was Hulk, Hawkeye, and then Black Panther. For sure.
Hawkeye number 2. Or sorry, Black Panther at number 3.
Hulk number 1.
What didn't you like about the Black Panther?
You knew you were going to open a can of worms with this one.
Have debate you something.
I know. I didn't hate it. I just didn't. Unlike you, I did not like the direction that it took. It kind of takes a very espionage-y kind of Black Widow-y political intrigue. Like, is that the new post-apocalypse, which was the new zombies? Now we're on to political intrigue. Is that what we're doing in comic books? Okay.
I didn't read the previous rounds. I tried the first 2 issues of Ta-Nehisi Coates. It wasn't for me. So
yeah, I didn't enjoy it as much as the other 2 books for sure. I know you liked it a whole lot. And I was in the minority this morning. The general consensus from the people that we were talking to this morning liked the Black Panther title.
yeah.
I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was written poorly or anything like that. It's just not a direction that I am into going with Black Panther.
Well, you already mentioned earlier that with the ex-ambassador that you're not thrilled with that kind of thing.
Yeah, it seemed.
Although I will say that Black Panther had a lot of action in it as well.
It did. And by me saying I didn't like the book, I'm not being like, oh, it's terrible. Don't read it.
What I'm saying is it's not all politics. There is action in
but
it.
I think that they've tried for a very long time to make, and this is gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna sound terrible saying this, so bear with me, but. They've spent a long time trying to make Black Panther a superhero, a valid superhero, along with the other Avengers on that team, and then to kind of just abandon that and be like, he's not a superhero anymore. Now he's kind of like a spy guy.
So
it didn't sit well.
My order is number 3, Hawkeye, number 2, Hulk, number 1, Black Panther. So for me, Black Panther like I said, the Ta-Nehisi Coates one I found so boring. I would use it to fall asleep at night. But
we are in agreement on that.
And I think in this one, Ridley did a great job of setting up like 6 plot lines all at the same time without
a lot happened in that book too.
Without feeling overwhelmed, and I feel like it flowed well. So it starts off with like the Avengers. Cap is like, I need your word that you're going to be here for us. And we all know as soon as somebody makes a promise like that it's...
Uncle Ben gonna die. We're going to kill Aunt Mary again.
And then we come back to Wakanda, and he's having problems accepting the new political fortunes there. Apparently democracy has taken root within Wakanda. So the royal family has been diminished in their role, and he's of the opinion that a ship needs one captain, and obviously being a democracy, it's the will of the people. And so you see a cool dichotomy between like that going on, like how he wants to hold on to his power. And he's not doing it, again, for negative reasons. He thinks he has the best interests for the nation in mind.
It was written well. I definitely encourage people to check it out. You know what I mean?
We see the sleeper cells that he has, which only he knew about, apparently. And there's a lot of things that go wrong with his one captain, one ship sort of mantra. So I think it balances it well between the politics and the action. I think it does very well. You see a lot of things come to roost even in the first issue. So let's move on to Hawkeye. That was your number 2. That was my number 3. I liked the last series of Hawkeye. Maybe it was the series before last a lot. I felt that one's fun and energetic. I don't know. This one just didn't have that to me. Like it was.
I mean, I think this was kind of fun and energetic, and
see, I think it fell flat.
I'll
let you talk about.
I mean, it's Kate Bishop being Kate Bishop. You know what I mean? She's trying
I think it was in her head too much.
I mean, I think a lot of it I think it's definitely told from a younger person's perspective, from her perspective, and there's a lot of her text messaging and stuff like that in the panels, and her talking with the other young Avengers, and I think this is like the beginnings of like a kind of cool coming of age story for a legacy character, and I'm glad that they're doing a legacy character for Hawkeye.
Yeah,
and
like I said, I don't think it was terrible. It was not my thing. Like I
mean, you put a quirky dog in a book, and I'm going to read it. We all know that. It's no secret. No, that Nightwing. Come on, man. So
like I said, I just think it was in her head too much for me. Like I was like,
I don't know.
I know a lot of teenagers that live in their heads.
It seemed like a kind of a more lighthearted version of Jessica Jones for me.
Yeah.
There's a mention of her in the book, so we'll see where that goes. But just her kind of being like, I want to do my own thing. I want to do this detective thing and help people and solve, detective people problems, and not necessarily solve big global spatial Avengers problems, and be kind of who she wants to be. I thought the art was good.
It reminded me a lot of Humberto Ramos's art.
Yep. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good book. And it's a mini too. I think it's only like 6 issues so far. So yeah.
And so your number 1 pick was Hulk, and my number 2 pick was Hulk. Normally I'm not a Donny Cates fan, but I think that this one was
he hit the gate running. My goodness.
So a lot of the weird thing is, like, I liked it a lot, but I saw on a couple of forums that people were blasting it, saying that they were confused by what was going on. And
I will go into it saying that I have not read the last part of the previous Hulk.
Well, apparently the Free Comic Book Day one is the one that really leads into it.
There's a lot of mention of something that happened that made X, Y, and Z happen, and they're kind of they don't explain that at all. Something happens, and Banner basically fractures himself into
let's start off with the tagline. The tagline for the series is, "What if Hulk is here to protect us from Banner, not the other way around?"
Yep.
So I like that as a question.
I like that they flipped it to because since Hulk's inception, it's kind of always been like Bruce Banner is the scientist, mild good guy, and the Hulk is the guy we all need to watch out for, and that role is completely reversed now, where Banner has kind of lost it. Not kind of.
The scene with Tony where...
Woo! Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see Tony Stark beg for his life. Yeah, he definitely hit the ground running. I'm interested to see where it goes.
I liked it a lot. And like I said, so the Thor run to me didn't start off like hitting on all cylinders. I felt like it started off kind of sluggish.
Right.
I liked Venom when it first started. I feel like the middle got kind of sluggish.
Which I think is my fear with this now, is we're going to get this really kind of crazy ramp up like Donny Cates does, and then maybe there's not so good in the finish aspect of it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, I know where they're going because I already read like the his interview or whatever about the.
You can't keep anything a surprise, can you? Nothing.
That's how I roll.
That is how you roll. It was really good though. That and all 41 of its variants or whatever.
We had somebody trying to get off 41.
More power to him.
They want whatever you were.
He said he wanted a tattoo. I was like, whatever, man. You buy all 40 variants of that book, I'll tattoo you. Whatever. I'm down.
He's working on it.
He is working. Good on him.
So I think last week was a great for the number ones. I think that made our best Wednesday ever.
Yeah. There was a lot of surprisingly a lot of crazy stuff that happened in the world. You had the Iron Man Silver Surfer weirdness that's going on over there that I'm kind of here for.
Yeah.
The character design's a little funny, but that was cool too.
Gotcha.
What else good happened last? There's a bunch of stuff, yeah.
So we'll turn the page on that one. Hopefully you guys check out some of those number ones. Like I said, I think you and I had different tastes on it, but I think all three of them were pretty quality reads.
Yeah, I definitely read, for all of my issues with Black Panther, read it, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I know Tomba said he would settle the debate between you and me, so.
Okay.
So we'll turn the page on that topic, and we'll go on to the best Wednesday ever. So, do you want me to start with the best Wednesday ever?
Sure, you can start, yeah.
Annuals having the best Wednesday ever. There's like 12 of them.
There's a bunch. I mean, it's annual time of year, folks. Yeah.
So
that's gonna be
apparently there's some important ones, some first appearances, and
I'm excited for the Robin annual. That run has been really good so far.
Nightwing,
of course. Oh, Nightwing always. Even when Nightwing sucked, I was Nightwing always. Yeah. The conclusion of Fear State with Fear State Omega.
Having the best Wednesday ever.
Yeah.
Talking Animals having the best Wednesday ever.
There's a lot of books with talking animals this week too, isn't there? Wow, I didn't even think about that till you just said it. There's a bunch.
What is it? Animal Castle is the one I'm looking forward to.
Yep. I picked that up. Yep.
The cover on that is beautiful.
Super good. Yeah. What else? There's a bunch.
Very much like Animal Farm and well, Cerebus came out, but we try not to talk about Cerebus too much. Pretty sure Cerebus came out this week, if I remember correctly.
I think so too. Yeah. Yeah. There's a bunch of like animal-related shenanigans this week. Yeah.
Dogs and Nightwing.
Dogs and Nightwing.
But,
I mean, no, she does not talk. She doesn't need to talk.
Independence having the best Wednesday ever. A lot of good
always,
Independence
though?
again this week. So yeah, I mean, I feel like the wall is ever more impressive each and every week. We're gonna have a repeat for best Wednesday ever also. Variant covers having the best Wednesday ever. Oh my god, so many variants yet again.
There was a decent amount of variants this week. I picked up a couple.
Just for the Gotham City villains alone, there was 1,000 variants.
Bunch, yeah.
And the Avengers 50. Avengers milestones having the best Wednesday ever. 750 issues. I think it's 750 also.
That's a lot,
yeah. Apparently there's a lot of storylines that get wrapped up and restarted in this.
I think this is the last of Zdarsky's Daredevil run too this week.
Well, it launches into the...
Right, to Devil's Reign or whatever. That variant was
apparently
super good.
Something very big happens in that. I may have spoiled it for myself because I paged through it, but may have. I will neither confirm nor deny. Okay, I'll confirm it. Yeah,
Human Target. Waiting for it.
Who wrote that?
Tom King.
Never heard of him. All right, so
that continues to be a really good story, no matter what you say.
That's an opinion. No, go ahead and talk about Human Target.
No, I'm that's all I wanted to say. It's a
Why
really
is that
good
the
book.
best one ever?
It's just a very solid story so far. The art is great. The story is good so far. Yeah. It's a Tom King book.
Homage covers having the oh my god, Dynamite and
what was the there was a
they did the Amazing 300 variant and the TMNT variant.
Yeah, the TMNT variant.
Evil Ernie.
Evil Ernie. Yeah, if I cared about Evil Ernie, I'd buy it. There was another one this week too.
You may still buy
a sleeper. That was the action variant. It was an Action Comics homage.
Oh, okay. I know which one you're talking about. I forget what it was, though.
It was like a weird title I've never heard of before, but I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think that's all we got for this week for Best Wednesday Ever. What do you think of this week, sir?
There was a lot of books. It was good stuff this week.
What are you looking
Other
forward
than
to
that-
reading most?
Daredevil.
Daredevil. I think I'm looking forward to Animal Castle the most.
Animal Castle was cool.
I paged through it. The artwork was really nice on it also.
I read
It's
so
different.
many indies.
Jenny Frizen
and
cover on Wonder Woman for you.
Ooh, a good Jenny Frizen cover too. I read so many indies and they hit so many number ones that you just kind of got to take them with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Because
I just love that cover.
they're not all going to be good. Yeah, the art is super good. Last issue of Me, You Love in the Dark. I think it's the last issue.
Jorge Corona's getting ready to go over to, was it Batgirls?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So we'll turn the page on that topic, and we'll thank you for watching, and again remind you to LCS, like, comment, and subscribe to your local comic shop, Brainstorm Comics and Gaming's YouTube channel, and again, thank you for watching.